What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is LJ and you're watching NoClutch Garage. Gotta open up my Red Bull real quick. Alright, let's get down to it. So this video, obviously, if you already saw the title, it's about my decision to switch over to MG Flasher. Now, I want to make a disclaimer before I start this video. This is not a video to bash any company. I don't really think it's a negative video at all. Actually, it's just my opinion on the current tuning platforms and just my experience and my decision to move to a different platform. And the reason I'm really making this video is because I've gotten this question a lot from a lot of you guys. Is like, why did you move to MG Flasher? Like, what are the benefits? Like, we don't understand. And so I kind of want to run you a little bit through my experience with my previous setup and compare it kind of to my new setup. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, and hopefully it's interesting to you. I don't know. Alright, so the reality is that I ran my car on MHD from day one. And actually, I have a few videos on MHD on my YouTube channel that you can find right there that are actually pretty big. I mean, like, they have like 28,000 views or something like that. So I put that video out when the B58 platform was first like starting to get developed, and that's when MHD and BootMod both released their OTS maps. That was like 2 years ago or something like that, back in March, like 2 years ago or something like that. I can't remember. I was one of the first few people, well, I don't want to say that. I wasn't one of the first few people, but I was definitely an early adopter of those maps. And when I got MHD, you know, I flashed the car, I showed everybody how to do it, made the video, put it out, and now we're at like 30,000 views on that video, and really anything MHD related. So before I had MHD, I had a Dynan little piggyback tune that was absolutely terrible. And then I got JB4 and I had it on here, and then I did full flash stage 2 without the JB4, and I still had the JB4 on the car, it just wasn't connected. So I did that for a little while and then found out about back-end flashing, which I'm sorry I never put a video out on that, but like, I know a lot of people are interested in it, but honestly I just didn't have the time to do it. And now I don't have a back-end flash. If there's any other car around here that has a back-end flash, I might be able to do a video on it, but as of right now it's not really, you know, on my radar. Anyway, so then I did the back-end flash to work with my car, and the back-end flash actually did a lot better than just the OTS map, because I was able to control a few more parameters and just gave me an overall better response. The only thing I didn't like about back-end flash is that it was kind of inconsistent. Even after I added the electronic wastegate harness, it was better, but it was still a little bit inconsistent. And I didn't really like that a whole lot, but to me, like, the power that I got out of it and just the ability to switch maps was better than what MHD had to offer on its own. Now MHD has really cool features like sport mode, cooling, and you know, the burbles and a few other things, the GTS roar. I know they're adding more things to it now, and that's great. You know, map switching, anti-lag, all that stuff's going to be coming, but that wasn't available back then. So with the back-end flash, I was able to also adopt CPI. Now if you guys know my car and have been keeping up with the channel, then you know I didn't really have the best luck with CPI. I was one of the early adopters, and truthfully, CPI would work if you didn't try to absolutely push the hell out of your machine, you know, with just stock fueling and CPI, which is what I did. And you know, it kind of backfired on me a little bit. Obviously blew out cylinder 6, but at the time the high pressure fuel pumps had just started to come out. There wasn't really a whole lot of research. There were people trying out the TU pumps. I think either Spool or Dorch had just come out with their pumps. CPI came out. It was all within like the same time period. I got CPI, and since I already had it, I just went with it. Anyway, and then my turbo blew, and then I got the Big Boost kit. We were able to push about 601 wheel horsepower with just stock fueling and CPI, and like 25 pounds of boost on E50, which I think is really good. The only downside is that, of course, we found out CPI was not enough to supplement fueling. After all of that, I decided that I did not want JB4 on my car anymore. This is not to talk bad about JB4, it's just for the build that I'm going for now, I kind of want the direct input of the DME instead of having a piggyback attached to it. Now you can do piggyback upon piggyback upon piggyback. You could be fine, but chances are is something is gonna go wrong. JB4 does have a lot of safety features which are good. Like, I have nothing against JB4. In fact, my Honda has a JB4, so you know, I'm fine with it. It's just for this particular build, I don't want it anymore. The other thing with MHD is that MHD is really good. Obviously there are good tuners out there for it. When I had some issues, I didn't really get the support that I wanted, and that's fine. I mean, you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of customers out there. If I don't get the support, I'm not gonna fucking cry about it. It just is what it is. But before I got my car back, a few months before, I started talking to MarinTuned a lot about tuning and, you know, his plans, what he was trying to do with the Gen 1 B58 platform. He was obviously coming from the A90, so he already had B58 background. He wanted to do some research on this platform and see what the actual differences were, if he could port some of the Supra stuff over to here. And he made it clear that he didn't want to go tune with boot mod, and I think he was in talks with MHD. I think he still tunes with MHD, or he can, but it's not his preference. And he said, get you know, MG Flasher and we'll get it rolling. So before I even went to go buy a license, I actually talked to MG, and you know, I talked to him about our plans along with Marin and what we had going on, my build, you know, expected completion date and everything that we wanted to accomplish with it. And MG decided to support me and basically sponsor me by giving me, you know, a few of the maps, logger license, everything, like the full package, which is awesome. MG has been great. They always support me. They always send out messages if I need anything or just check up on me. I can't ask for anything better than that, because they're actually taking their time to make sure that this build is going right, you know, that everything is smooth. If there are new features, if there are beta features or whatever, you know, like the works. So I'd say at this point I have a pretty tight team with MG and MarinTuned. They know about all the plans that I have for the car, both immediate and long term, so they're going to be supporting me through all of that. Switching over to MG, a few of the things that I really like about MG is their custom code is like insane. I'm not a tuner, I can't really like tell you all of that like technically. One of the things that I really like is the map switching, which I will have a video of that coming up right after I release all the videos about, you know, flashing over to MG. And another thing that I really like is like their on the fly features are really cool. Granted, you have to like memorize a few like button like patterns and stuff, but overall it's a really cool feature to have. You know, burbles on the fly, you can change the level of burbles, or even like max cooling. Like if you're at the track, you can increase your cooling on the fly just by, you know, pressing a few buttons. I've talked to MG, they're simplifying some of those systems and they're bringing over a few more capabilities to the platform. I mean, even just the map switching stuff, like that's been available by MG for a while, where bootmod and MHD are kind of playing catch up in that regard. Now, I'm not saying their systems are bad, because obviously if you can implement map switching, it doesn't matter which platform you're on, like that's cool no matter what. For my car, we're gonna start implementing map switching between like you know, like my daily map, 93 map, my ethanol map, my C16 map. We can do all of that, but I just haven't implemented it on my car. The other thing was anti-lag. Anti-lag has been on MG for a while and it's still technically in beta, but like it works. So, you know, these things are really appealing to me as somebody that wants to be able to get the best times, you know, racing that I can, or the most consistency, and also just the ease of, you know, if I wanna, you know, if I'm at the gas station and I want to run the 85, all I have to do is, you know, a few simple things and I'm already in my ethanol map instead of having to sit there and reflash. Now, I will say MG's flashing times are not as quick as boot mod, or even like MHD is like super quick, a few seconds and you're onto the next map. But then again, you have to do the whole process where you turn off the car and you have to wait 30 seconds and blah blah blah. With MG, if you have all those slots filled in your map, just do a little map switching real quick and you're there. You don't even have to reflash. So part of the motivation for me to leave MHD and, you know, remove JB4 from this car was just the support that I was getting from MG and MarinTuned. And I mean, obviously there are more people involved in this. Also, honorable mention to Dorch Engineering, because Chris Dorchester has been great sending over information to Marin to, you know, marry this tune a lot better. There were a lot of discoveries that we made actually on my car in the process that will ultimately benefit everyone in the Gen 1 B58 community, especially if Marin and MG can get together and actually, you know, work some of these things out. I don't know, I mean, I'm not a tuner, so whatever they found out, or Marin found, I'm sure would benefit everybody. Anyway, that's pretty much it for like why I switched. Do I recommend MG? Absolutely. I think it's a great platform. I think what matters more than anything is your tuner. It's like, who is your tuner, right? There are a lot of tuners out there for us, for the B50 Gen 1 B58s. Some make more noise than others. Doesn't necessarily make them better. What is better for you is really up to like what you want. And that's something that I've come to like learn as I've gone through this experience of like building this car. You have some tuners that are very aggressive and they lean the fuck out of your car. Next thing you know, there's a popped engine or whatever. Now that I have the built motor, I can lean out a little bit more, but I'm still kind of like cautious about it. And Marin Nelson is not one of those guys that is going to lean the hell out of your car, you know, unless you really want him to, I suppose. And, you know, he's going to make you sign something. His philosophy for tuning, like, I really like it, and I couldn't really explain to you unless you talk to him personally, but him and I have talked a lot back and forth, and I really like the way he does things. So I have a good team going on right now. That's basically what I wanted to talk about today. I know that people have been asking me about updates about the car. This video is gonna come out before my other videos of MG Flasher come out, and this was recorded later. The others were recorded earlier. Yeah, so that's gonna be a little weird, but you know, whatever. As of right now, like, I had a few issues in Texas. I don't know if you guys saw, I went to TX2K. Had a vlog like set up for that. I don't even know if I want to release it anymore because it was just a crapshoot. Like, it was really bad. But I got the car up here to North Carolina. We got it running, and then when I got here, my turbo seized. So replacement turbos inside, and I'll try to keep you guys more updated. Like, it's really hard for me right now because I have so much stuff going on in like real life that YouTube kind of like is sitting in the back, you know, in the back burner, and I'm gonna try to get back into it because I really enjoy doing this for you guys, but right now it's just kind of difficult. I'm also gonna try to come up with some more technical videos on the platform. I typically don't. I mean, you have other YouTubers that kind of take care of that. I kind of do the DIY stuff. Been thinking about doing a little bit of different content for the channel, and maybe add some racing here and there, maybe some vlogging. If there is any interesting stuff that I can provide for you, like, you'll definitely be seeing it on the channel. I still try to get a lot of the new advancements in first so that you guys can see them firsthand and how it works, and we're gonna keep doing that. There's a lot of stuff that I've done to the car since my last video even that I still haven't shown anybody, and we're gonna be looking at all that. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to my rambling and basically like why I moved away from JB4 and MHD and why I'm on MG Flasher. And we're just gonna keep going, man. We're gonna build this car. The build is not over, and as a matter of fact, there is a lot of stuff that I'm really excited about coming to the car that it's not necessarily performance. So we might start getting to some of the appearance stuff that I know a lot of you guys like. After I install the new turbo and dial in this setup, we're gonna leave it alone for a little while. We're gonna leave all the performance stuff alone. Doesn't mean that I won't talk about any more performance stuff. I just won't necessarily be chasing big power. It's kind of like a personal decision that I wanted to do that. I leave it alone for a little bit. I gotta build the driveline. If I don't build the driveline, I really can't add more power because I'm gonna start blowing draft shafts up and transmissions and stuff. So I'm gonna have to take it easy for a little while. But you guys are great. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. The channel's still growing. You guys have been subscribing and everything, even as I've been kind of sitting back a little bit, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate your feedback and everything, and let's just continue this thing. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent with my uploads, but I can't promise anything. It's just been hard right now. There's definitely plenty of content coming, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye.